What is going on, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about some tips, some things you can do, some life hacks that can help you continue to burn fat and continue to stick with the regimen of intermittent fasting. If you ever felt that it wasn't working the way you wanted it to work or that you wanted to quit, these life hacks will actually help you keep on pushing forward. Stay tuned. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you can do to enhance any kind of experience or any kind of diet or regimen when it comes to what type of food you can consume or when to consume that food or what to do or how to break fast and stuff like that. And all those things are super important. They're really, really good. But sometimes you have to sacrifice things for the greater good. And by that, I mean, sometimes you just have to give up this battle here so that you can win the overall war on reducing your body fat and increasing your health. And you guys are probably saying, what are you saying, Edward? What do you mean? Yes, there are certain rules that'll help you do intermittent fasting much better. There are certain things that you can eat that'll make intermittent fasting much better. Certain things you can take that will make intermittent fasting much better. But the thing that's the most important is the intermittent fasting aspect itself, because the fasting, the not eating for a long period of time, is what increases your insulin sensitivity, is what brings your insulin levels down to baseline, that allows you to tap into your body fat more fluidly. So if these things enhance body fat burning, for example, apple cider vinegar or eating specific foods or doing a keto diet or whatever it is, if these things are also lending itself to helping you burn fat, but they make it harder for you to stick to the regimen, make it harder for you to stick to the protocol of intermittent fasting, and then you end up just breaking it and binge eating or whatever you do, when you do these kinds of things, when you restrict yourself, then you need to make sure that you're prioritizing intermittent fasting over all these other little things that may be more detrimental for you psychologically, because it'll pull you away from completing the task. So what I'm saying by this is that if you're distracted easily and you see that you're continuously breaking off of intermittent fasting, getting back on intermittent fasting, breaking off, getting back on, and you don't find a consistency there because you feel that maybe you're being restricted from something, go ahead and eat the foods that you want to eat. Of course, try to make it as healthy as possible. Try to be in the realm of as much health as you can, but put your focus or put your strength more on just completing the protocol of intermittent fasting, and then allowing yourself to eat the things that you want instead of focusing on eating specific things or doing specific things within your eating window when it comes to the foods or the liquids that you're actually consuming. Prioritize the fasting method, prioritize the fasting protocol so that you can stick with it. So basically what I'm telling you is to put all those other additional things that you can do for intermittent fasting on hold for a while you focus on just doing intermittent fasting. When you get comfortable with intermittent fasting, when you've done it for a while, for a good amount of time, that's when you have the flexibility. That's when your brain will allow you, your body will allow you the flexibility to add other little elements in there without going crazy. And even if you feel even slightly burdened by anything that you're adding, even after a long time, then go ahead and slowly take that out of the equation. Go back into doing what makes you comfortable, what gives you that rhythm, what makes it flawless for you. And then maybe try it later down the line, further down, maybe about 2, 3, 4 months down the line. The main goal will always be and should always be for you to do this for the rest of your life. So you want to position yourself in the most comfortable way possible when utilizing intermittent fasting. Now, another thing that you want to do is you want to fast during the times where you're occupied. You can pick up a hobby so that you're doing something more when you're fasting. You can strategically utilize your job as a way to keep your mind off of food. The trick here is to stop thinking about food. If you're stagnant, if you're in one location, if you're just not doing anything but sitting down, you're going to be thinking about food, especially if you're new to intermittent fasting. And even some people that are veterans to intermittent fasting, some people who've done intermittent fasting for a few months, a year, they'll still think about food if they're simply just doing nothing. If you occupy your mind, if you're doing something, anything where it requires a lot of focus and a lot of thought, like your job, editing, video, whatever it is for you, those things will help you not think about food, thus decreasing your chances to break your whole intermittent fasting protocol. And the longer you do intermittent fasting, the more comfortable it becomes. And the more self-control you build, it'll be much easier for you not to break your fast. Do something that's going to take that focus off of food and onto something completely different. Now, another thing that we could talk about is plateaus. Now, let's say you have a weight plateau. Before you do anything to break a weight plateau, understand that there's so many things that may be affecting you from not losing weight on the scale, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's body fat. You could actually be losing body fat, but you're holding on to a lot of water, or you've built up a lot of glycogen in your body. There's so many different things that that number on the scale can represent. But if you want to break through a plateau, the easiest way to break through a plateau utilizing intermittent fasting is to do a slight extension to the normal fast that you do. So if you're doing a 20-hour fast, you want to go ahead and maybe do a 36-hour fast. Or if you're already doing a 36-hour fast, you want to go ahead and maybe do a 48-hour fast. And not every day, just once a week. Same thing if you're doing a 16-hour fast, you might want to do a 32-hour fast. Just get that extension, get that little, extension on your normal fast. And that has a tendency to snap your plateau because everyone is different. You and I might be doing intermittent fasting at the same time, but it's quicker for me to flush out, glycogen stores or glucose and get my insulin to baseline. So maybe you just need to get there a little bit faster so you can release the glycogen or the glucose in your body. Also, make sure to drink water when you do this so that you can also flush out the water that's in your body. And those things will definitely help you break through that plateau to allow you to get closer or reveal what your true body weight is on that scale. Now, the final hack that I want to talk about is if you're close to your weight loss goal. If you're right there, if you're right next to the target, and I'm talking about maybe 5 pounds or maybe 6 pounds, close right there, right there. Anything below 10 pounds, like very, very close. What you want to do is you don't want to eat out at all until you reach this goal. What you want to do is you want to eat foods at home, and you want to really, really focus on the food that you're eating. Make sure you eat the things that you like, but make sure that it is within a certain calorie limit. Just for this little bit, like you might not have needed to look at your calorie count coming down, but if you're finding it hard where you're getting right to your goal and you're bouncing up a little bit and bouncing down, bouncing up, but you're not going all the way, focus on eating at home. Do the exact same meal every single day. Yes, the exact same meal. I know it's going to sound boring, but it's just so that you can get to that target weight, just so you can get to that goal. Do the exact same meal. That way, if there's any resistance or if you run out of one item, you can just replace it. It's very easy. If you have multiple items that you buy from the supermarket and you ran out of tomatoes, all you got to do is buy more tomatoes. If you run out of bananas, all you got to do is buy bananas. So it makes it easier for you to know exactly how much calories you're getting and not have to do like this major purchase every single time. Then once you hit your target weight, you have a little bit more of a flexibility. And of course, always make sure to work out either at home or at the gym so that when you are at a caloric surplus or you do have some more calories coming in after you lose that weight, you can distribute some of those calories towards your muscle as opposed to just storing them as body fat. Okay guys, I hope that those life hacks, those intermittent fasting life hacks help you if you're struggling with intermittent fasting right now, if you're struggling to reach a specific goal weight, or if you're just struggling with sticking to the protocol. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this lets you open your mind a little bit more and understanding what the major goal is or what the more important tool is in the grand scheme of all these different things that you can do when it comes to intermittent fasting. Hopefully this video will help you refocus if there's any issues or resistance that you've had recently with the intermittent fasting protocol. And I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here. And of course, as always, I'll see you on Sunday for another FAQ. Peace!